criminal behavior, but he's being very vague about everything he's saying to try to like introduce a little bit of obfuscation. It's fucking stupid.
The DOJ
made it what was it?
I will tell you
that made it up to go after you.
I didn't say that.
Well, yeah, but who's making? If it's completely fake, where did it come from?
That's an interesting fucking question, isn't it?
Yes, because my understanding was I think you were deceived. I watched your response to it.
What's your evidence any of it happened?
I don't.
Or is Tim really trying to say that the entire thing was faked? There were no cash transfers whatsoever? Tenet didn't exist? Tenet Media was never a real YouTube channel? All of that was just a fake thing? It's just gone and now what? What?
The DOJ report. That's all I have.
What DOJ report?
The DOJ.
The quiz. God, he's such a pussy ass bitch. He's smart though. Tim, I'll give him credit for being smart enough not to bring anybody that's like thoroughly read all these documents. Tim has never read an original material of anything in his entire fucking life, or at least not since he became a fucking sellout stooge for whatever foreign operator controls him.
PDF that they released.
PDF. You're thinking about the criminal indictment. I mean, I wouldn't expect this guy necessarily to know every single thing. Maybe he doesn't know how Temple operates, that you have to be familiar with all the underlying material, or else Tim is just going to endlessly quiz you on it, which is funny because Tim hasn't read any of it.
What happened?
I don't, the DOJ report, that's all I have.
What DOJ report?
The DOJ PDF that they released with
what did it say?
Names. It said that...
It's the quiz. And if he gets any detail wrong here, Tim's going to say, wrong, you're lying.
Russia was trying to pay people through a media company, funneling money to host your content. Culture. This show,
What's the
by
evidence?
the way.
What's the evidence?
It's an indictment, you fucking retard. They don't have to make that evidence public right now. They can speak about the evidence they have. The evidence they gave were bank transactions that were being transacted through a shell corporation where payments were being listed improperly. So for instance, I think some of the payments were, it was like $130,000 for iPhone 14 XX or some bullshit, right? That was the evidence still in the indictment, but we don't have access to that evidence now. It's just an indictment. Indictments are issued for PC, probable cause, so that you can do an arrest warrant. That's it. It's not like we have a trial or something where we can look at the evidence publicly or anything.
Don't have
There's none.
fucking links in it.
There was never any evidence.
Okay, so where did it come from? What do you mean? I'm confused. Look, all I'm saying is the story was, and if this is false, sure. The story was the Russian government thought it behooved them to pay you money because your talking points on Ukraine were indistinguishable from their propaganda. Now, if that's not true, maybe...
It's not true. That's not even in the indictment.
When you scream, Ukraine is the enemy of... Now, if that pay you money because your talking points on Ukraine were indistinguishable from their propaganda. Now, if that's not true, maybe...
It's not true. That's not even in the indictment.
When you scream, Ukraine is...
What's not in the indictment? That Tim Pool was getting paid a ton of money? That was in the indictment.
The enemy of the people. That is essentially Russian propaganda. No, I don't think you're being paid for that.
Did our ally Germany accuse Ukrainians of sabotaging?
Did our ally Germany put money into that country to fight back against the? Is Germany not raising money for them right now?
You gave a specific quote when I said Ukraine is an enemy of this country. Because Germany, our ally, said that Ukrainians just bombed our energy pipeline, and I said that makes them an enemy of us.
There was nothing moving through that pipeline yet.
Our ally was attacked by Ukrainians.
Okay, so clearly the governments of these NATO countries don't agree with you insofar as they think, hey, it still behooves us to give money to this country and help it defend itself against Russia.
I don't care about that.
Meanwhile, the Russian narrative...
Germany fucking complained. Germany said that Ukraine was bombing their energy, and that makes them an enemy to us. Okay, well, Germany literally just said they don't give a fuck. That's why they still want to support them. I don't care. So? And? Who? Germany. No, who asked? Okay, damn, you got him, I guess.
Narrative is 100% that did happen in that way that you're describing, where we don't actually know. This is my understanding.
So
my question is, why should I take your Ukrainian facts seriously if this seems to be the case? What?
It's CBS News.
What's CBS News?
What I just cited was CBS.
They said 100% this is confirmed, or this is an alleged thing.
CBS reported that Germany has issued an arrest warrant for a Ukrainian diver named Volodymyr Z.
That means 100% it happened?
It means our ally has asserted...
God... And I don't blame the soy pill for not being a fucking legal cuck, but it's so funny what he's saying there. Germany issued an arrest warrant, and that's your proof? That's interesting. Do you know what an arrest warrant is usually issued off of? Usually something called an indictment. You know that thing that you said earlier that wasn't proof, right? Because you said earlier that the DOJ didn't publish any proof. What did they publish? They published a set of indictments, right? And you said that didn't count as proof. But now you're saying that Germany issuing an arrest warrant does count as proof, which is... I imagine Germany's probably probable cause for an arrest. So, but whatever, who cares?
That this is their stance on it,
right?
And we should stand with our
their conclusion. Ukraine is the enemy of the people.
True, and see, this guy, he's not like familiar with all the underlying facts. He's unknowingly asking good questions, because then the next question is, oh, why did Germany issue an individual arrest warrant for a person then? If they thought that Ukraine was responsible, why didn't Germany go to the ICJ? and ask the International Court of Justice to look into it. Why didn't Germany go to the ICC and ask the International Criminal Court to issue an international arrest warrant for people in Ukraine?
Maybe it is.
Well, no,
Tim has no idea about any of these things.
It's not. They're giving them money. They're supporting them.
That doesn't get into the nuance of a political climate in Eastern Europe.
Nuance.
Okay, so what I'm asking you is, your position on this seems to be at the least aligned with a lot of what the Russian position is, which is, fine,
that Russians are scumbags and should have invaded?
If that's your opinion, and what I'm saying is,
scumbags.
Why then are all these countries still doing the exact opposite of what you're suggesting?
What does that have to do with what we were talking about? I don't know.
It has to do with the fact that, like, I'm asking you, why should I take any of your opinions on this seriously when it seems to be 100% aligned with a country that is the enemy in this situation?
Are you retarded?
What?
Are you a retard?
I mean, yes, but that's relevant to right.
What does my opinion as an American who doesn't want to be involved in foreign wars have to do with whether Russia agrees with that or not?
Because if the Russians thought that they should give you millions of dollars to spread your opinion, which helps them out,
and that's made up.
Can we look at that? What was case being dropped? Like
made up? Yeah, made up.
Do you have an email from a lawyer about it being dropped or something that you're on the show with? Like,
is there any proof that it ever happened?
King, prove it. Prove it. Oh, words on paper. You know that a PDF's not even real paper, right? So pixels, LEDs, alternating, what is it? Light emitting diodes. That's your proof? Zeros and ones, bro?
The proof, look, if you think the DOJ made it up out of thin air, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, let's try this. Do you believe everything the government says?
No.
Then with no evidence being issued, no case ever being brought.
Why would you say... If you don't believe the government, then why would you give a fuck if any evidence was given? That you would just not believe the government anyway. This whole argument is self-defeating.
Individuals ever identified
with charges. I mean, okay.
Individuals were literally named in the indictment. The Russians were indicted. They were involved in this. No? What? Tenet, indictment, Department, Justice. 2, RT, employees indicted for covertly funding and directing U.S. company that published thousands of videos in furtherance of Russian interests. Unsealing of an indictment charging Russian nationals Konstantin Kalashnikov. That's a real name. Come on. And Elena Afanasieva. So there are literally named people. Nobody ever reads any of the material. No, why?
It's a very
no individuals ever identified
with charges. I mean, okay, with the two Russians that were
whatever the government.
To the two Russians indicted, are they free? Are they free now?
Who are they?
Kalashnikov and the other one. I don't know. Remember that?
Oh, he even knows one of the names. Kalashnikov and you got one of them. Okay, so he's seen something. He's at least read an article.
To the two Russians indicted, are they free? Are they free?
So Tim either doesn't know or he's being bad faith.
No.
Who are they?
Kalashnikov and the other one. I don't know. Remember that.
When have you ever seen him before?
Have you ever seen these people? What?
Are you saying these people aren't real?
We don't know that they are.
Oh my God. These are advanced debater tactics. I would have to study up if I ever went back on the show. I wouldn't be ready for this one. You know that that everything you said about that case was a lie. What do you mean? Well, like for George Floyd, for instance, you see that you're trying to say he had a fentanyl overdose. He did. Okay, but I mean, you don't have any proof of that. Yes, I do. What's your proof? The autopsy and the levels in his blood. It's like, well, he was a frequent user of it, right? He probably hit a tolerance. Drug users don't build tolerances. Well, yeah, they do. No, they don't. Have you ever seen one before? What? Yeah, I've seen a drug user. No, like a tolerance. No, what do you mean by see a tolerance? Show me a tolerance. Google right now. Show me what a tolerance looks like. I don't know how to explain. I don't know how to materially represent a concept to you. Then you have no idea they're even real. Checkmate. It's like, okay, well, me, I guess. What are we even saying? So, if they would have posted pictures, what would Tim have said? Do we know if the pictures are deep faked? Names aren't enough? They're just listing fake names on the indictment?
One, I don't know. Remember that.
When have you ever seen them before?
Are you saying these people aren't real?
We don't know that they are.
I'm asking you if you...
They haven't even posted photos of these people.
So, okay, hold on. Let me just get this straight. Because the idea is this entire thing was crafted out of thin air. We made up fake names.
Why'd they drop it?
Directly with XYZ.
Did they drop it? It was a public indictment. Wouldn't you have... I actually don't know if you would have to announce if you drop a public indictment. I would imagine you would.
People, it's directly linked to this company that we know is real, which is Tenet Media, started by Lauren Chen and her husband or whatever. But everything in between those names is completely fabricated.
So you believe...
He's not going to answer any questions. So you believe everything you've read on the media? You don't know what you're talking about. You don't sound like you're familiar. You just believe the crazy stuff you've seen by crazy media outlets. It's always this bullshit.
Whatever the government tells you?
That's not what I asked. I asked you if everything is completely fabricated in between those names.
Just because they issued an indictment doesn't mean that they made it up. They could be wrong.
Well, who... Okay.
I mean, these weren't indictments in front of a grand jury, right? But maybe the grand jury was all tricked as well. Were these grand jury indictments?